listening to Ticats Pregame.
Louie alongside Courtney, Steven, getting you set for Hamilton Ticats football live from Ottawa. Hey, if you haven't listened to episode 2 of Morreale and Hitch, check it out on the Ticats audio network. This week's episode includes characters like The Claw, Side Door Gary, and Electric Bob, as well as some tall tales of epic pranks involving Mike O'Shea and his kids' dirty diapers. Find Morreale and Hitch on Spotify and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. And oh my gosh, conveniently enough, Rob Hitchcock is here with some Alumnus Analysis. Hitch, I have got to tell you, the number one show, I've been told, on the Ticats audio network, so congratulations on that feat.
All 16 people watching it. It's awesome.
You mean your beer league hockey team, right?
That's it. All 16 guys. That's it.
Hitch, weather is going to play a factor tonight. Courtney and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. More so for the offense. When you were a secondary player playing in a game like this, how much did you love the opportunity to just try and smack that ball out of the offense's hands?
Well, there's that, and then there's if it's really coming down the rain, then you can really change your game plan as a defensive guy, because they're not going to throw the ball too deep up the field if it's raining pretty hard. You can kind of cheat up on the run game. At least that's what I did back in the day when I was playing safety. But the ball protection is huge in the rain, and that's enforced on the offensive side. Make sure you catch it and you tuck it, and guys are going to be coming to strip it. So it's definitely going to play a factor. I'm not sure how it is up there. It's raining here in St. Catharines, so I'm not quite sure what's going on down there right now.
Hitch, I know some guys love to wear the gloves. Some guys are the finger tape people. When it rains, some people even take it all off and they just go bare hands. But I got to know, what kind of guy are you? Are you the gritty, no gloves, bare hands, let's get to it? Or were you wearing the gloves styling no matter what the condition?
If I look good, I play good. So I you know how it is. I play with the gloves, but we had the old glass cutters back then, and the glass cutters came out, and you could wear them in the rain, but I took them off when it was bad weather, and I just went straight bare hands. Hence my hands are all broken, my fingers. So
it's a great party trick, though, I've been told, Hitch.
It is.
When you play a stretch of games like the Ticats have, I know you talked about it. The Labor Day and then the Labor Day rematch. The Ticats are in a stretch of 4 games in 17 days. What are their bodies telling them at this point? What are you feeling during warm-ups, or are you just fully amped up, ready to go, forget how many games you've played?
Well, I can tell you that the bank accounts are liking it. Four checks in 17 days. That's for sure. But yeah, the bodies. I mean, I think when I was a younger, my first 7-8 years playing, I could go out and play a game 5 days later. But as my career, getting into that 9, 10, 11, 12 year, it definitely needed a good week. I know some of the veteran guys would definitely say that they need at least 5 days just to recoup to get another game in, but it's hurting. But right now the guys, it's a different game. And if you listen to some of the old school guys talk, after games now, there's guys out there that are riding the bike and protein shakes and taking care of their bodies. And we did that. We definitely did that, but we did it to a different, we're out there having some beers after a game. And we knew that if we had to play, a game in 5 days, that we wouldn't just go so hard one night, right? We'd be able to do that. But the game has evolved, and the boys are taking care of their bodies a lot different than we did. I'm not saying it's a completely different game, but we did things a little bit differently back in the day.
Hitch, I know sometimes that there's an idea that we can win a game on defense. Sometimes we might have been down in the second half, and maybe the offense hasn't been getting going yet, and we would get in the huddle on defense and say, look, boys, no one's coming to save us. This is us. Let's get the ball out. Let's score on defense. Let's make a play. What's the mindset that you think the defense has going into this game, knowing that there's so many variables right now that are at play, with the injuries on offense and the short week, the excuses that could be everywhere? What do you think the mindset is of this defense, this Ticat defense heading into this game?
Well, that they've looked at film the last 2 weeks against Calgary and Toronto, and if they just have to look at those 2 films alone and just do what they did in those 2 games, then they're going to be fine. The guys they look like they're gelling, they look like they're having fun. I'm right behind the sidelines and doing some radio behind the game, and I can see the communication. I can see the guys talking to each other all the time, and that is huge in championship clubs. And when your defense can do that, and your special teams can turn it up a notch. If your defense or if your offense is struggling a little bit, they want your D to step up, and they've stepped up the last couple of weeks. And like I said, if they've watched their last 2 games, just keep doing what you're doing, and they're pretty confident right now going into this game.
Rob Hitchcock giving us some alumnus analysis here on Tiger Cats pregame, presented by Active Green and Ross on the Ticats Audio Network. Rob, when we're talking about the kind of the halfway point of the season, how much is the team aware of the standings at this point of the season, of where they're at in those standings? I mean, it's early, but this would be the halfway mark, and 4-3 through the halfway sounds a lot better than 3-4.
It does. With the little shortened season, how it is. Labor Day was kind of the half season for us, right? When in the season, and when you look at that, it's kind of a new season once Labor Day hit. And now that there's a shortened season, tonight would be kind of that playoff picture. Like let's start to separate ourselves from the teams like Ottawa. I mean, they're 1-4, I think they are, or 1-5. I'm not quite sure their record, but they win. Ottawa wins tonight, and they're 2 points behind. So it's pretty crucial that the guys go out tonight, and they know what they have to do. Everyone's looking at the schedule, and no one's looking ahead. I know some coaching staff always said to us, "Don't look ahead. Let's take it one game at a time." All the politically correct things, but players are definitely taking a game at a time and winning once at a time, and just moving on from there.
Yeah, so the Ticats, right? We're talking about going ahead and getting above 500. In the East Division the last few years, really just about 500 has gotten you into the playoffs. And we know that the Grey Cup is going to be here at home in Hamilton. I don't think that anybody's thinking about it, but secretly we all know that final game, that final dance is going to be here at home. Do you think that that's a little extra motivation for some of these guys coming into a game where they know that, we can begin to win in the division and give ourselves a little bit better chance to get to that run for the Grey Cup here in Hamilton?
Well, some of the veterans on that team, like Simone and that, have been around for a long time, are definitely, thinking about that and talking to the young guys and saying how important it is, because the Grey Cup hasn't been in Hamilton since 1996, and it's been a long time since this is coming. So is it added pressure? It could be on some of the guys, but I think Coach O and his coaching staff, because they're such player coaches, they understand that the league and the parity in the league right now, and they're just saying, guys, let's not look too far ahead. Let's just take this at a game at a time, and wherever it falls, that's where we're going to be, and we're going to go for it. So I think it's you're right. It's one of those things that each guy may not be saying in the locker room. Simone might be saying it because he likes to chat, but I think the majority of the guys that don't get it, we'll understand this in the next couple of weeks, that, hey, Hamilton's here and we're a good team.
Hitch, you mentioned the parity in the league, and I think this season more than ever we've seen that on display. But the Ticats still come to this one as favorites. We know the Red Blacks are 1-4. We know the Ticats are 3-3. How much is a guy aware of being a favorite in a game? I know it's not talked about in the locker room. You look at the opponent as for who they are, but is it in the back of your head knowing that, this is a game we should win?
Well, I can tell you, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because you think a team's 1-5, and they're not playing very well right now, but they can come out at any given time and come out and knock your socks off. And that's just the way the league is. And guys can't take any team lightly in this league, and we never did. I remember in 98, 99, we were beating teams like 63-5, 63-3. We were killing teams, but we knew when we were going in there, we were so confident in our game that we knew that we were going to go in and win, and it showed it on the field. But I tell you, we going into Calgary or going into BC and playing a team, and they were down. You never know what's going to happen in the CFL. Like, I've seen 21, 25 points scored in less than 3 minutes in this league, and it could happen, come up pretty quick. So you can never let your guard down.
Absolutely, never let the guard down. And I think getting back to the fundamentals is another big key. We spoke with Jeff Reinbold, and he was talking about special teams and how key that is in the game. So in terms of just the fundamentals, tackling, catching, blocking, the basics. What do you think are going to be some of the keys to victory in this game?
Well, you said it. Everything that the guys have been practicing. When I always look at the guys are here playing in the CFL or the NFL or whatever league you're in, you're there for a reason because you can play football. And the coaching staff understands that, and they put you in a position to make some plays. They can't do anything, unfortunately, except teach you and show you and make you better. Like, when the guys are there now, when I played, you're always learning. Like, even coaches are saying a little bit of tips here and there. You can take what you want from them, but the guys understand it, and you can take it and you just move with it, and tackling and securing the ball and not turning the ball over. Those are all great things and great attributes that a team has, that it's going to be a championship team.
Hitch, real quick here, the Ticats will win this game if
the special teams and defense steps up and play the way they've done, and offense puts a few points on the board. That's pretty easy.
Easier said than done, I'm sure. Hitch, I don't know if you'll get around out in the next couple of days, but if you do, give me a call, okay?
I appreciate it, man. Have a great night, guys.